All right, Alien fans, here we go. We've waited a few months to know the fate of Alien Earth. Will there be a season 2? At first, it seemed like it was a given, like season 2 was going to happen. But as time went on, it seemed more and more less likely. It seemed less and less likely that a season 2 of Alien Earth was going to happen. But today, officially, it's been renewed. Hello everyone, welcome to Digital Charcuterie. My name is James. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to the channel and a fan of Alien and Alien Earth, hit that subscribe button. I talk about it and discuss it with you guys all the time right here on the channel. And I gotta say, I was starting to lose faith in a second season. Time was ticking, right? Like the clock was going. We heard FX say, we're not gonna wait years between seasons. We're gonna get to this right away. We don't want to wait years between seasons. And then it kind of seemed like, well, maybe if it does happen, we're going to have to wait years between seasons. And let me know your thoughts in the comments down below of season 1 of Alien Earth. I covered it, reviewed it, discussed it all the time right here. I quite enjoyed season 1. I did think it started a lot stronger than it finished. The ending was decent, but at the same time, somewhat lackluster in a lot of ways. Now, where it ends, I was like, oh yeah, give me more of that. I want to see where we continue, where this story will go. But getting there, like the whole thing, it just kind of felt like it was kind of losing steam in the last half of the season. That being said, I did really enjoy it. You can check out my videos on the channel where I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was a good time. But it's something that I think would be beneficial to have a second season, possibly even a third season, but definitely a second season, especially, like I said, where this one all ends up. But this renewal is coming to us from Variety, and in that article, this is what they have to say. Alien Earth renewed for season 2. Noah Hawley inks new overall deal with FX and Disney Entertainment Television. This is by Joe Otterson. Alien Earth has been renewed for season 2 at FX, Variety has learned. In addition, series creator Noah Hawley has signed a new overall deal with FX and Disney Entertainment Television. According to an individual with knowledge of the situation, Hawley's overall deal is valued in the 9-figure range. Production on season 2 of Alien Earth will begin in London in 2026, whereas the first season was shot in Thailand. Alien Earth serves as an extension of the Alien film franchise that debuted on FX back in August to strong reviews from critics and audiences alike. The cast includes Sidney Chandler, Alex Lowther, Timothy Olyphant, Essie Davis, Samuel Blunken, Babu Sise, David Rysdahl, Adrian Edmondson, Adarsh Gaurav, Jonathan Ajayi, Irani James, Lily Newmark, DM Camille, and Mo Barel. What's very interesting about all of this is that they're shooting in London as opposed to Thailand. Season 1 was Thailand, season 2 being London. This is interesting for several reasons. One, it is cheaper to shoot in Thailand than in London. So you would suspect that if they were going to follow this story through, they would go back to Thailand and shoot there. But instead, they're going to be moving to London, where it is more expensive to shoot because of labor costs and all that. But also, is the setting going to be the same as it was in season 1? Or are we time jumping in some capacity that changes the whole dynamic and the whole landscape, literal visual landscape of the narrative of where we are in this second season? So it sounds like either if it's a continuation, they're getting a bigger budget for whatever reason, and of course viewership for the show. It of course famously attracted 9.2 million global views in its first 6 days on streaming, which was massive for Hulu. And some reports were saying that it slipped as it went on. And Noah Hawley said earlier in regards to a second season, it all depends on what the viewership numbers were like towards the end. He goes, you can start strong, but it's how you finish that matters. And it looks like it finished pretty well, especially with them going to London with season 2. That means, like I said, their budget, no matter what the storyline is, that means their budget for season 2 is going to be higher than it was for season 1. Hopefully higher. Maybe they're just going to shrink it down to 1 episode or 3 episodes. But it sounds like it would be a higher production budget for season 2 than season 1. They might be upping the stakes. They also have a better grasp on their story, of their narrative, of where they are also in Alien and in their structure of what they're trying to do. Now, for me, I've noticed a lot of times season 2s of seasons are usually a little bit of a step back, I think, for a lot of people. I think the first season sets the tone, the second season is trying to figure out, and then the third season they go off to the races. Stranger Things, of course, I think is like the poster child for what I just said. It's not true of every series, of course, but just I find that there's been a lot of shows where you find the second season, you're like, okay, okay. And then the third season, I figure it out and they keep going. Because the first season, like I said, you set the stage, second one's the hump, and then you get over that and you move forward. I hope that's not the case with season 2 of Alien Earth. I also hope that they have it planned out because it's production beginning in 2026, with the hopes, I suppose, that in 2027 we'll be getting season 2, which is only, a 2-year gap between seasons, which isn't insanely large, but it's still, I think a year would be great. I think, I come from an era, obviously, when we watch TV from September to May, and then you have your summer, and then you come back in September, late September, October, whatever it was, and you watch your season again. If there's a cliffhanger, you only have to wait 2 or 3 months if there's a cliffhanger, right? But now we're in this new era of maybe there's 3 years between a series, maybe there's 7, maybe there won't be a second season. So at least we know we're getting this, and a 2-year gap, it could be a lot worse, obviously. I mean, even if this was renewed a month ago, I would suspect that 2026 would still be when they would get ramped up with their production and whatnot. Like, it just felt like that was always going to be the case. Like, 2027 was always their goal for a season 2 of Alien Earth. That's just what I think. And by the way, 2027 is shaping up to be like a remarkable year for, this like nerdy fandom. There's so much going on in 2027. I can't even tell you. It's just going to be a great year. Like, if you love this kind of material, if you like this and all, like, there's just so much going on that year that is, I think it's just amazing. Maybe there's going to be too much. Never too much. I'm really happy that we're going to get a second season. I'll have more videos about the second season, more theory videos, fun videos like that to discuss what could happen in season 2 of Alien Earth, what I suspect will be on the horizon for this season, if of course it follows Wendy and the Lost Boys, which I really hope it does. I know Noah Hawley's Fargo. I know Fargo kind of jumps all over the place, but I really hope Alien Earth, we stick with Wendy. I want to see what happens with Arthur and the eyeball monster. There's so many unanswered questions. And the one thing I will say is, even though there are unanswered questions, and it kind of left a little bit with a whimper, I kind of really feel like I was satisfied at the end as well. Like, these aren't nagging questions, but I really do want to know, like, well, what's up with the eyeball monster inside Arthur? He can't just walk, like, he looks like an eyeball monster ripped out his eye and is pulsing out of his face. Like, he can't just go somewhere. Normally, you'd have to wear massive sunglasses or whatever. So I would like to know what's going on with that creature. How smart is the eyeball monster? More, but it's funny, we're talking about Alien and Xenomorphs, or, should be the main draw. But I'm really interested in this. And this also, though, Wendy's relationship with the Xeno. How does that play out? Where does that go? Does that evolve? And are we getting closer to, obviously it's way into the future, but Alien Resurrection, the mention of how Earth is a shithole. Like, are we getting closer to that? Is this going to take us in that direction? Obviously, how he's saying he's going to forget some of the stuff that's happened in Prometheus and Covenant and stuff. He's going to do his own kind of thing. But at the same time, you're working within an IP, a known IP that fans know and love, and you kind of have to respect aspects of it still, and you still have to know where we're going. Like, you can't, I don't think you could just retcon Alien Resurrection. I know Neil Blomkamp was going to negate Alien 3 and kind of redo all of that, and Newt would be alive with Ripley and whatnot, but that obviously never came to be. Sigourney Weaver just talked about that recently as well, but of course that never came to be. But at the same, but you just can't forget it, because that's still like canon, and in your canonical storytelling, all roads should lead to. I'm not like, it doesn't have to necessarily lead to Ripley and all that, but it has to lead to Earth being in the state that it's in by the time we get to Alien Resurrection. I honestly think it would be really impressive and fun and intriguing to watch this series kind of show Earth devolve into the crap hole that it is by the time we get there. That's what I would like to know. But I really want to see more of the Lost Boys, obviously Arthur and the eyeball, and Boy Cavalier. Where does Boy Cavalier go from here? Where does he go? If he is as smart as he is, as smart as the show claims him to be, he's got to have some plan B up his sleeve. And I would love to know what that is. I'll have more videos in the days, weeks, months ahead for Alien Earth Season 2. I cannot wait. Let me know your thoughts. What are your hopes and expectations for Season 2? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate your time. Hit the like button and subscribe. Until next time, may you be the master of your own universe.